Do not touch my gauge cluster up there. It's special to me.
Kenner's over here working on a little top secret project for a minute.
Paul told us specifically not to touch that gauge cluster right there, but I own one of these trucks, and as you can tell, these trucks are rounded. I do not see a square corner on the entirety of this truck besides that box. So I decided that needs to go away, but Paul told us not to touch it, so I'm gonna do it quietly. Don't tell anybody. So I've been working on this new gauge cluster. I just got these gauges designed, cut them at a 10-degree angle how we want them. And this line here would be like the top of the dash. So that is the plane for this here. So that I can model it. Because if you have it like a 10-degree angle sitting there, you can actually see the gauges because these gauges kind of like a magnifying glass. So I got those designed. The boost has this tube coming on the back of it so it can actually read the boost because it's got to have the actual pressure. So I have that modeled in so I know what I'm looking at. And then they're labeled so I know what I'm doing. Pretty sure I'm going to leave it the same. So I have the exhaust temp on the left side and the boost on the right side. This is what I have so far. It looks kind of cool because it's just sort of floating there. But it still has a good enough contact patch that it should stay on. I'm happy with it so far, but I'll finish it up and see how it looks. Okay, so I got this box all out. I don't like it. I don't know if you hate it or not, but I definitely hate it.
I'm not a big fan. I don't think anybody's a big fan of it, so that's okay. I think Paul's just stirring the pot, so we're gonna stir back. How about that? So
sounds good. So this is what I thought up. I have this massive base built because I'm not sure what your idea was to cut that out. I know you wanted something slim to look nice, but I don't know.
yeah, I think if you just cut this base back, kind of cut it around the front of the gauge there, and come around here, because I think the way this is gonna sit, we got the V of the windshield right here, so I think if we have this come around to a point and then have that come back around, we can have that hit the center of the windshield.
Okay.
And then we can just put like one screw right there, and then we can just put some double-sided tape on the bottom of it.
Oh, okay.
And then we have the whole bottom of that we can open up to run all of our wires and vacuum line and whatever else we need to through it. So we'll just kind of minimize that base as much as we can and keep it as clean and nice. But I think that angle is going to be about right. So
I sat in it with an angle gauge and angled the gauges where I thought they should be, and that's what I got. I think it was like a 17-degree angle or something like that.
Okay, perfect. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, trim that up, and if you want to print a beta,
okay,
or whatever, that's probably final product. Really, I don't see why it couldn't be. So
yeah. So this is what I came up with after we talked about it. I talked to him a few times in between, just making sure it's what he was imagining. And this is what both of our heads came out with. We got this nice, we just minimized the base as much as possible. And then we opened the bottom of these clear up so we'd have all the room in the world for wires, and for the boost gauge it has a hose that comes in the back of it too.
That's pretty good. I think that will fit right into the corner of the windshield right there.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be perfect. So print it. Print it already. Come on.
Try it.
Awesome.
Good morning. New day in the shop. We're back on the RatBack here. Got quite a few things done off camera. Got this dash harness pretty well laid out. Just a quick reminder on the process on how I do this. I take my notebook and make a note of all of the components that are in the cab here for this particular harness. And then I assign wire colors to it and the wire sizes to all the different components. And then we take a measuring tape and measure the distance between the fuse box and that particular component. and we write that all down right here, right next to that deal. So the ignition switch is about 20 inches away. The wiper switch was 48 inches. HVAC switch was 80, so on and so forth. So it makes it a lot easier to lay it out and not forget stuff. In fact, I'm pretty much at the point where I need to sit down and go through my list wire by wire, as I'm just about ready. Well, at least I think I'm just about ready to go ahead and put this harness in the cab and test fit it and mark all the lengths. And then that will put me where I can get this thing all loomed up and ready for final installation. So, but Dusty's over here working on the front. We got to do something with these original park lights. We have this socket there to put a 1157 style bulb in it. But it'll have to come in through the back right here, and we'll take the single filament socket and cut it out. I don't want to put new park light housings in it because you can't buy them with these sockets already in it. But the new ones will look out of place because these old ones have got the same matching patina as the rest of the grill. So we're just going to run these, keep it all matching, since this truck does have a really nice patina. But in order to do that, we're going to have to pull this grill out. I've got these housings unbolted, and they're just not going to come out. So I think that's the next step for Dusty's. He's going to pull this grill out. Caden did get the harness for the front half of the truck done. But yeah, that's the front harness, and it runs down the frame and across the bumper. There you can just see that harness, and up and over, then over to this headlight, and then there's wires that come up to the park lights as well, and then it comes up into the engine compartment. So there's our wires, these two wires right here for the alternator, and that's for the oil pressure, and then this one's for the coolant temp. So pretty minimal amount of wiring on this, so it makes it kind of nice. We're just going to get back at it, see if we can get some of these things kind of finished up. As you know, next Monday is Labor Day, which means we're getting towards the end of the summer, so you better get those last minute off-road plans in now. If you're planning something, make sure you check out Onyx Off-Road. They have a Labor Day special where you can get 50% off if you use code LDAY50. This code is valid August 28th to September 16th of 2024. With Onyx, you can plan out your event using their 3D maps. You can check out the trail reports. You can see user submitted photos and check out all the neat features that trail may have to offer. No special equipment's required. You can use it on most of your mobile devices, which will save you from having to use one of those silly GPSs. If you're unsure, there is a free 7-day trial where you can check out all the features, make sure it's something that you're interested in so you don't waste any money. After the September 16th, you can use chadsfab, and then you can get 20% off. And once you're registered, you can go vote for me and Paul on the Onyx Challenge.
Got my motor all tore apart last week, and now I'm going to start working on the front inner fenders on my truck. But you guys are probably wondering, what the heck has Kenner been doing for like the past 6 months? So I go to an early college high school, so I don't have tons of free time as it is. And when I do have free time, I'm usually 3D printing stuff. I own a small 3D printer business called CAD Designs. I sell things such as bottle jack knobs. I have some for different styles. So this is for a flared pin, as you can see. So that's what I've been up to. Now I'm gonna go see if I can find those inner fenders for my truck.
Okay, you got those all. Oh yeah, you just need to crimp those, and you're good to go, huh? Yeah, I think that's gonna work good.
Yeah, that'll
Okay.
work great with those stock original.
Oh yeah, yeah, it really does. These
are cool.
Yeah, those glass lenses are really cool.
In general, clean them up a little bit.
Yep, with those amber bulbs, that's gonna look really good. So, yep. But yeah, Caden did a pretty good job of getting this all tucked in here.
Oh yeah, everything is nice and clean.
Nice and tidy. Paul wasn't in love with these lights.
Oh, no?
So I think what we'll do is let's just put some braiding over it. Zip tight to that so they don't get lost.
Okay.
And then Paul can take care of that when he decides on which lights he's going to leave on it permanently. Just trying to get this cab harness finished up so we can get it fitted. I'm about to hold up the whole program again. So, as usual, that's my role in life, I guess, is hold up the whole program. So
Milking it.
milking it, yep. Alright, how's this looking? Good. Oh, yeah, you got your compressor harness all built there.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Ready to go.
Pretty
Got your
much.
blue wire that will go to that pressure switch. Huh?
Yep.
And then that's the ground.
Ground. It's gonna come over here with the headlight ground over in this area.
Cool. And then you got the connectors on here for the turn signals.
Yeah, got them on both sides. We got, yeah, pretty much everything's ran. Caden's working on the last, I think, cable.
Oh.
To the,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're doing that power cable to the alternator, huh?
Yep.
So 6 gauge.
Yeah. That was what you told me.
Okay. Well, that should be good. I think this alternator is only like 120 amps, so that 6 gauge should be sufficient for that.
Yeah, the one on my Blazer is 100 amp, and I think they ran 10 gauge from the factory. So
Yeah.
should be just fine.
Yeah. Should be just fine. And then that cable is going to run along the other harness over to the.
Yeah, it basically runs with the other harness right to the bus bar for the starter and
Okay.
all that stuff.
Cool. So we just need to weld a couple of tabs on the bumper and.
No, I talked to Dusty about that. So when I was planning to not take the grill off, but I see that we had to do that. So I just drilled some holes in the back of the winch blade to run some zip ties through.
So you'll be able to keep the stuff off the bumpers where it's going to fill full of schmeg.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's make sure. Okay, that'll work.
That's good. So.
And then I've got this other harness. Wow, I walk away for 30 seconds and Caden buries all my work here. Huh?
I gotta have a spot to do my stuff. And you're not here. So. Hey, do you want to run the solder for me for just a second?
Oh yeah, you bury all my stuff and then you ask me to go to work. Okay. That's my job.
That is your job. You
That
should
is
know
my
that by
job.
now. Let's see. Yeah, it should be about there. Yep, it just flashed. Or maybe not. Oh, yeah, there it
There
goes.
it goes.
Okay.
Maybe just a smidge more. There we go. Okay. That looks good. Yeah, a little heat shrink on that. And
Yeah.
should be there for a long time. But I do have this harness all ready to go to test fit. So I went down my list and double checked everything. My first check is when the wire's put in the harness, and then my second check to make an X means that I verified that it is in fact where it needs to be on both ends. But I did put a little bit of tape on these individual branches to kind of help hold the wires in place, but mostly it's held with Velcro. That way, as I put the harness in the truck, I can adjust where these individual branches are. There's a couple inches of movement either direction and still have enough length to get the wires where we need it to be. But it's kind of hard to lay it out exact on the bench, so we get it really close and then fine tune it in the truck and then put some tape on it while it's in the truck, pull it all back out, tape up the junctions and put looming on the rest. Then we terminate all of the connectors and then it's ready to go in for good. So Kenner's working on these inner fenders again to kind of tie in with the radiator support and make it look like it probably should have been built back in 1950. So
Yeah, pretty much.
okay, so you have this little bit of a bump right there and right there, so you need to take and knock that down. So if you use this dolly and hold it like this underneath,
Okay.
right where you're trying to back it, because you're going to put it right there on this one you don't want to move. And since this piece on the right needs to go down, now you're going to use this part of the hammer, and it's not going to take hardly anything it's not going to take hardly anything. So just maybe hit it just a smidge harder, or if it's easier, see, you are a southpaw, so that's how you need to do it, huh?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, just work with it, feel it as you go, and remember just to do one section at a time, put a tack in it, and then move to the next section.
Okay.
I think you got it. That piece is going to look really cool, especially once we get that other bottom line in it.
Yeah.
Tie it all together. This thing's going to look really cool.
Oh yeah.
Especially for a newbie learning some sheet metal skills. So
Yep.
awesome. So Dusty's patiently waiting for me as I go through all my squirrel moments here. So we'll get that handed over. Pull that over to so.
And it's going right here, I'm assuming, eh?
Yeah, somewhere in the semi-traditional spot, and then there's a lot of stuff hanging under here.
Yeah, there is, isn't there?
The dimmer wires. Are they going to reach down to the
wires?
There should be right with the, yeah, I think those ones with the dome like wires, the orange and white.
Yep, we should be, that might be upside down. Well, we probably want the wires to go up, right?
I built it to have the wires come out the bottom of the box.
Out the bottom, okay. So like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, right.
I don't know. Maybe we do want to have it come out the top.
Yeah, we probably want it like that.
Okay, then I think
so. Yeah, and those dimmer wires, yeah. There.
okay. So probably what we need to do then is figure out how to attach that fuse box. We'll get this fuse box bolted in, and then we'll be able to run the rest of the harness. So. How's this looking over here, Kenny? Oh yeah, yeah. Got that all tacked and ready to do a little hammer and dolly work on that. Perfect. And then when you're over here marking that, it sounded like somebody was locking up their monster motors out there. The monster motor tires. Is that going to be long enough?
Yeah.
Perfect. That'll be good. And that'll be your piece to go right here on this bottom rib.
Yep.
Good deal. And what are you doing, Corp?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing?
Get some water.
Oh, yeah.
What am I doing more on this?
So run your hand across it. Your hand. Or at least like this.
Yeah.
See how you can feel that bump right there?
Yep.
So now you're going to take and hold your dolly. You can hold it like this or like that on the back, and you're going to tap this down to where it feels good. So since this isn't fully welded, it should move a little easier. So if you fully weld it, and then especially with a MIG, and then try and hammer and dolly it, you're just going to make a huge mess. When you MIG it, the weld tends to be a little bit harder and a little more brittle.
Oh, okay.
So that's why all the professional sheet metal guys use TIG, because that keeps the weld softer and it's a lot easier to.
That makes sense.
Yeah. A lot easier to hammer and dolly. So. All right, Dusty and I, we have this fuse box mounted. We ended up using one of the same screws that holds the relay box on the other side of the firewall. And we ran this harness across, and looks like all our lengths are pretty good. We will have to shorten the wires that go to the turn signal switch. So we got those marked roughly right there. We'll cut that, but before we do cut it, we'll slide these pieces of heat shrink down so all of our wires will stay labeled. But everything else, the lengths were really quite close. I think we're ready to drag this back out, put it back over on the table, and get all of that stuff handled. So
Cool. Sounds good.
all right.
Yeah, looks
This makes it look way better, huh?
Turn signal, that's all we do.
3?
Yeah.
3 new tires?
Wonder where my 4th one is. That's handy.
Yeah.
That's amazing how just doing that little bit of trimming makes this look so much better.
Yeah, just kind of cleans it up a little.
Yeah, so we're ready to probably start terminating this. Yeah, we'll just have to start a list on that bulkhead so we can make sure we get everything on the other side of the bulkhead wired right. So. Okay, that looks good. Start getting this all pinned out and then we can tape it up.
Yeah.
Make it look all perfect and stuff.
Good stuff.
Yep. Kenner's on strike because lunch isn't here yet.
And yeah, you only have 3 tires. The 4th one's gone.
Really? Is there?
Yeah, there's only 3. I have a picture if you want.
Holy cow. So, I don't know what the heck good 3 tires are especially when I ordered 4, so. All right, guess we'll go look.
Corbin? What? You good supervisor?
You're doing a good job, supervisor. Keeping me in line.
Is Dusty getting out of line?
No, I never get out of line, do I?
I haven't really been paying attention the last like 15 minutes.
What a bad supervisor.
Yeah, he's not the best.
I've been supervised all day. Amazing.
You're not supervising anyone?
I'm over here. I need supervision. I'm not adult enough to be doing what I'm doing, so. I'm Corbin.
Yeah, remember how Corbin got left in charge for being the adult when when you guys left to go with your thing?
No, it's Caden.
Oh yeah, okay.
You should have left Corbin, I guess.
Just finished wiring most of this up. Got all the terminations mostly done. I'm finishing up, ready for a nap. I mean, it is 4:24, so.
Party time.
Look at you in your little glasses.
Yeah, because I got to read those numbers. Yeah. And if the light's just right, I can read it, but it's just way easier with the old man glasses on. But, they're nearly Coke bottled.
Yeah, they're nearly the size of Kyler's.
Yep. But it's perfect for this kind of stuff because I can actually read the numbers and.
Really pull out that grandpa look.
Yeah, I can't even look up, otherwise it makes me sick and I want to throw up. I have to wear them on the end of my nose so I can look up.
Looks like Santa Claus.
Yep. We have a large percentage of this all done. It's just a matter of connecting some dots now. I got a couple more wires to add, and that's my list right here. So I got a couple things to add. I got some brake light wires and a couple of power wires to add into this connector right here. All of these wires are already in the cab harness. We just need to finish putting them in here. So this connector is pretty much going to be full when we're done here. We still have some few wires in here to tidy up before we put the cab harness in. Of course, we got to redo all the wiring to the gauges there to tie in with our harness. Kenner's over here working on a little top secret project for a minute. And then Dusty is putting
Organizing zip ties.
Oh yeah, that kind of got ransacked, so.
Just kidding, not really. Be here all day.
Yeah, no kidding. That's kind of a lost cause. Trying to get these wires that are hanging here connected to those lights right there.
Chad's starting in the front, I'm starting in the back, and hopefully we'll meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, yep. So we'll have a couple of wires to run through that headache rack as well. So Dusty wants to drill a hole and fish the wires through the tube. So a little fishing here in the shop, so it'll be good.
I don't, but I'm good at it, so.
Yeah.
I suck at fishing.
Yeah.
Well, different kind of fishing.
Yeah, any kind of fishing I'm not good at. I'm gonna run the wires, fish them up through the headache rack to the back work lights. All right, I finally got all this cab harness put together. I've got it all loomed up. Headlight switches there. These are the wires for the ignition switch. I'm not sure the exact length those are going to be. Get this harness put up in place, then I can cut them and then terminate the ends to go on the ignition switch connector. Here's our turn signal switch. There's a little connector for the little LEDs that'll go in the dash right here for our turn and high beam. And then these little guys. One's the tack adapter for the diesel, and the other one, this is a GPS speed sensor for the speedometer. None of this has been terminated yet, so we'll get the harness put in place for good, and then we can connect all these different deals where they need to go. Turned out pretty tidy. It's pretty small and fits up in there really good. And then you can see where we got that big 29-pin connector up in here to go through for everything on the firewall side. Fuse box is right there, and it'll mount right here on these two spots. So we'll get that put in and give you an update here shortly. Now that this harness is tucked in where it needs to go, I can start at this one end and start terminating things. So I got this ignition switch right here. I need to terminate that. I didn't want to do that on the bench because I wasn't entirely sure on the exact distance, and I didn't want all these heavy wires curled up in a ball if they were too long, or pulled tight if they were too short. The headlight switch is a little more forgiving, so I pre-terminated it. I'll get it put in place, replace this other headlight switch that I couldn't get the right connector for. You know, we'll just kind of start snapping these different things together and start making the final connections. I'll just start over here on this driver's side, get it all done, tucked up, and make all these wires disappear. Caden did get quite a bit of stuff done. He got the reverse lights wired up, the sensor for the tack taken care of, the wires that go to this switch box right there, and then the got the voltage regulator wired up, and then the starter's also wired up. So what is this tack sensor I'm talking about here? It is this little guy right there. As these two wires come out, there's a little pickup right there under this hose clamp, and it senses a little voltage spike every time the alternator rotates through the field windings. And then this little deal goes to a box that's under the dash, and that box under the dash interprets those pulses and then sends a signal to the tachometer. That's the downside of having a diesel, as you diesel guys know, is it can be a little bit tricky to get a tack signal. Got that handled. Obviously we'll have to calibrate it once we get everything all finished up and connected. Kian's back on the inside. You are getting ready to probably connect some grounds up there.
Yeah, I got grounds to connect. I got the stuff for the gauges up there, radio, just some other little odds and ends that's in the interior. So
perfect. And then Caden gets the thrill of working on this on the windows. Yep. That window quit working. It went down and then wouldn't go back up. So we got to figure out what in the world's going on with it. These switches are kind of silly.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Yeah, they're not user friendly at all. I spent a better part of a day fixing the ones in this door. I had to do some re-engineering so you could actually work on it and make it work properly. I did get the driver's side taken care of. Now it's Caden's turn to do the passenger side. So,
yep. Do we have analog stuff outside?
What's that?
Do we have normal cranks outside? Yeah, I think it's easier. I'll even come over and roll the window up and down for him.
Yeah. You'll just be the mouse under the corner there that comes up and rolls the window up and down.
Yeah. Pretty much. Anyway.
This is where things kind of get a little dicey and maybe a little fun.
Yeah.
So we're going to directly defy Paul's order on the gauge pod.
I've already told Keenan, do not touch my gauge cluster up there. It's special to me.
You put that in, so I think that's going to look 100 times better. So go ahead and drop that in. Let's show the good people how this is actually going to look.
Custom built by the one and only Kenner.
Mr. Kenner. He's our resident 3D printer pro. So that looks just like the way it should.
Yep. I mean, not quite as good as Paul's, but
Straight from
we're
the factory.
trying.
I know, we got a
we're
ways to go,
I know.
and hopefully Paul will
Baby steps.
forgive us. So I think what we'll do, we'll just tell Paul it's done. We'll just leave the key under the mat, and then he can come get it, and then he can talk later. So.
Yeah. let him take a minute to cool down.
Yeah. Yep.
That one's maybe a little bit better than this.
I don't know. We'll see. Kenner had some pretty good ideas on what we could do with that. So
Yeah.
So we'll let him present those ideas.
Okay, so what should we do with this thing? We thought of 3 things. You can do it as a pen holder, stick all your pens in there, or we have parts to build him as a little dude. Or you could have it as a big ugly pile of a paperweight. Yeah, we could make it a paperweight. Comment on what you think we should do with this piece before we return it to Paul.
I think it's gonna look great.
Fits the style of the truck still, and
Kind of really
good.
just blends in really once it's there.
Yeah,
you know,
it really
compared
does.
to-
I'm dying to get this running, listen to some AM radio, and go and have
yeah.
a Camel stud cigarette and ash it in this here ashtray.
Well, if we deliver it to him, we can go down and listen to the Navajo radio.
Yeah?
Yeah.
AM Navajo radio. And some stud camels.
You know, there's been a few of those in that ashtray.
Oh yeah. Come on.
You know, there's been.
No, it's really clean.
Oh, actually, that is a new one.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
is this
break
a
it
new one?
in. We'll break it in.
All right. Okay, I'll leave that up to you. I gave those up years ago, so.
You gave them years ago. Oh, wow, we're pretty well done, huh?
Yeah, we're getting right there.
Stop yelling.
This isn't your first day, Tice.
It's my first time here. Don't yell at the whole world, Tyson. It's Stacy. Come on. Come on. You know better.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Built by Kenner. One and only.
Yep. It's an original.
Gosh, he's good.
He is good.
Well, I guess we see what works and what doesn't. So we got that. And we got blinky blinkies on the little boxes inside, so
We got lights on the dash.
got lights on the dash. Hey, the lights dim on the
Dash.
on the dash. So that's cool.
So
Got
we did
headlights?
something right.
Oh, no high beams.
What's that?
No high beams or low beams. Oh, it flashes, so I wonder if it's the dimmer switch that's bad. Right there. Yeah, it's the dimmer switch. Okay, bad dimmer switch. No surprise.
Can we get another one of those, or
Should be able to.
like locally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't have any,
Blinky blink.
no blinky blink. Let's see. Do we have anything up front? It's in the, no, in the grill.
There's nothing in the grill, but the grill's
Oh, the grill's out, so that's our whole problem then. Okay. Oh yeah, we got rear. Yeah, because the rears are LEDs, so they're not going to put enough load on the flasher to get it to flash. both of those come on. Okay. I don't even know if that's hooked up in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Brake lights.
Yes. Yeah.
Off.
Yep.
On.
Yeah, they're backwards. One wire one way, one wire the other way.
Oh, oops. Well, that's easy to fit.
Exactly.
Other side. And we have.
What's that?
Oh. Oh yeah, we got 2 more wires to connect. I forgot about. I'll have to get that.
What is it?
Gotta put a plug on the these 2 wires for the wipers.
Oh, sweet.
Well, I think we got all the wiring pretty well wrapped up on this. It's like the only things I got left. I got the pack brake and the compressor stuff all figured out. So we got the grill to put back in and the rings that go around the headlights. And the outside I think is done. See, on the inside I have a list here as well. So I still need to calibrate the speedo. And the headlight knob's taken care of. The air lines are all ran. They're up under there. I got the pack brake switch wired and working here. Caden made a bracket for the little micro switch to go on there so that the pack brake only comes on at an idle. So I need to do the headliner still. The door panels, we don't have those back from upholstery yet. The GPS antenna, I haven't taken care of that, but I'll see if I can do that while I'm doing the headliner. And then I got the fuse box labeled, so I'm trying to find some black tape from my label maker, and then I can relabel that in black so it doesn't look quite so tacky. The dome light's working. The radio works. Got the sub all wired up. I don't have anything hooked up to it yet, so you can see the light came on. You can hear we got static, so that's good enough for me. So we got the gauges in the pod working. The pack brake does work, so flip this on like that. So this is the exhaust brake. Sorry, I called it a pack brake. That's the name brand for it. And you can see, hear that activate. So that's deactivated when there's throttle. As soon as it goes to idle, it deactivates. So that all works. The airbags work. I'll probably let Paul label these. So that's about it. Paul didn't send me with a bulb for this gauge, so we don't have that wired up, but the wires are here, so Paul can throw a bulb in that when he gets it back. Wipers still don't work. I think there's something messed up inside the motor on that, but they are wired. So the AC works, blows cold, and I think that's about it. There's not a lot of extra on this one. We did wire it for auxiliary lights front and rear, but I don't know if Paul's gonna put anything on the rear, but it is pre-wired. I'm gonna pull out these little trim pieces and these pieces around the windshield. I'll get those out and then I can start getting this headliner in. I've never done one of these before, so it'll be kind of interesting to see how well they fit, if they fit at all. But you got to be careful because they're essentially just cardboard, so. I'll have you help me.
Me?
Yep.
Little old you gonna help me.
I have no idea how they did these back in 1947 or 49, whatever year this crazy thing is, but I cannot find a video anywhere. All I find on the internet is these are miserable, you won't enjoy it, don't recommend doing it, so.
Best of luck.
Yep, rot to ruck is usually what they say. Rot to ruck.
And in case you guys are all wondering, I'm fine. It's just tendonitis. So a few weeks of this, well, 6 to 8, and we'll be all good.
I can maybe get one of these outer ones. Sheesh.
Hopefully I didn't hit you.
Not a good thing to drop. And you're right under it. It's hot. I guess I could probably stand some more ventilation, but...
It's not the ventilation you want.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Got it?
There's that one.
Okay. Want to come over here and do one?
Yeah, I'll do one over there, and I think with 3 screws we should be able to just drill a little hole through the cardboard, run a screw through it, and hope for the best.
That looks good. Probably tighten the screws, but
Yep. Yep, we got her all in and didn't even make a huge mess out of it. Actually, I think it looks pretty darn good.
about 2 hours later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks awesome.
It does look good. Okay, we got the finishing touches taken care of on this truck. As you can see, Kean and Caden got this grill bolted back on. We reused the original turn signal housings, put a different socket in the back there so we could use a normal 1157 bulb. So we got the pack brake stuff taken care of. The grill's in. The headlight rings were missing some clips, so Paul will have to put those round those clips up and then get the rings put on around the headlights. But everything else under the hood works and it's good to go. Back here, we were able to find the instructions for the fuel level sender. This thing's pretty cool. It's sold by Holly. It's just noteworthy because it's so cool. It's a universal fuel level sender. It just uses an LED to gauge the distance to the fuel level. So it's just this little puck is all that it is. So you go through a calibration procedure and you can program it to whatever your gauge is. It takes about 3 minutes to calibrate, so it works really good. In here, headliner's in, got both visors in. Has a passenger side visor for the first time since it was built in 1949.
First time ever. It didn't have one.
It never came with one. The holes were in the cab, but it had never had one folded into it. So all the gauges work. Turn that key on. See, it's got just over half a tank of fuel. Voltmeter works. Let's see, let's start it. We're in neutral, so. See, you can see that the voltmeter works and the alternator works as well. The tach works. The gauges up there work. And the pod.
Thank you, Kenner.
Yep. But yeah, everything else is done and ready to go. Everything back here is good. Yes, we still have a safety device. You can see that big block right there. That holds the bed up.
And the tail lights work.
Tail lights work. Everything's pre-wired for reverse lights, and there's also an extra wire back there to run an auxiliary light if Paul wants to. We do have it wired here for some lights on the headache rack, wired up front for some lights up front on the front bumper. So
Oh, but we didn't wire those because he doesn't love those.
yeah, he had us take them off. He's not in love with them at all, so he's gonna find something that matches the style of the truck a lot better. So not sure what that's gonna be.
And Corbin approves.
Yep. Of course he does. So Paul's got a derby this weekend that's about 2 hours from here, so I'm gonna drive this down to him
and then he'll drive it home. So that'll save him several hours on the road, and it'll pretty much be its real maiden voyage. Of course, he drove it a couple of times to Orderville from his house, but that's only like a 20-minute drive, so this will be 2 hours, and then he'll drive it another 2 hours to his house.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good at 70. Yeah, seems happy.
Doesn't feel like
Goes
you're
down
gonna
the
die.
road. Goes down the road really nice.
Is the tachometer on this work?
I don't know if it's right or not. It seems a little low.
Wow, looks like it's still clocking up. So
I think we're spinning probably, I would guess that we got to be spinning about 2,300, 22 to 2,300, and that's more like 19.
okay. What about the mile gauge, whatever that
Speedometer? I think it's right. Here, you can click on the speedometer on that.
says we're going 67.
It shows about 68, so it's pretty close.
Yeah.
We'd call that good.
And it looks like it's counting your miles.
Yeah, it's within probably 3 or 5%. We could calibrate the speedometer and get it dead on, but
Okay, so it's just a hair over.
it's really good. That's really good considering it hasn't even been calibrated. This is the first time I saw this when we pulled out of the driveway. That was the first time I'd ever seen the speedometer move. So
Hey.
yeah, our alternator's still charging. The temperature staying right in that 165, 170 range. Oil pressure's at 80 pounds. And gas gauge is working. It's pretty awesome. Who needs wipers?
Use more rain eggs.
Dang, I wish they had a vent right there. Probably pretty good over there.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's getting just a little bit. Ooh, hey, that helped.
Doing this.
Yeah.
Can I steal your pocket knife and maybe I can make you a little duck for my water bottle?
Oh. All right. Today's episode of Arts and Crafts with Kenner.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time.
Yep.
How's that?
Oh, nice. I can actually feel some cool air. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so we've gone 66.5 miles. I'm a little worried about the fuel gauge because we left like three-quarter, and now we got like a full tank. So something's happening there. I may have messed up on the calibration. The other noteworthy thing is it's been raining. The Rain-X has been doing pretty good, but the weather strip around the windshield's not been doing so good.
Yeah, it's leaking a little bit.
And then Kenner got creative with our water bottles and made us some vents so we could blow some AC on us.
Yep, blows nice and cold now.
We're just gonna keep plugging along. Keeps running good. The temperature's doing good. Oh wow, that rainstorm dropped the coolant temp about 30 degrees, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything else is doing fantastic. Aside from the micro switch on the pack brake, that quit working. I don't know why, but oh well. Yeah, keep plugging along. Yeah, we'll stop in
in Ephraim and get some fuel and see what this gauge is doing.
See if it just reads backwards.
Yeah, that's weird because after Kean and I calibrated it, we were playing with it and it was working just fine. So okay, we're getting real close. This is Ephraim. So there's Robbie's shop right there, Leighton Auto Body. Yeah, you can see the Bronx Star out front. Okay. We're gonna stop up here and get some fuel. I want to put some fuel in this tank and see what this gauge is actually doing. And I need to go use the restroom anyway, so. And then we're about 10 miles from Manti where this derby is, where we're gonna meet Paul. It definitely didn't use much fuel, probably maybe 5 gallons at the most. Well, let's see what the gas gauge does. Now it reads half. Oh no.
No, not home.
Oh no.
It's reading
What?
full.
It's reading exactly the same as it was when we pulled in. That is weird. That is really weird. Yeah, I wonder if it's bad. Well, I guess recalibrate it and see what it does. Okay, well, it's full. There's plenty of fuel to get Paul home, so. Well, let's see, we've done 88.2 miles, so we're almost there. Yeah,
All right.
Kenner did a right good job on that
Oh,
one.
that
huh?
thing is awesome. That's what I had imagined, but I didn't have the skill level that Kenner has. So
Yeah, he did it.
I said I didn't want that change, but I really did. That looks way better. That thing's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys did a killer job.
Yeah, we got everything all tidied up. We had to pull all the wiring back out of the doors so we could get something on these
Oh, yeah.
to help them fold through the door jambs.
Exactly. Yep.
And then door panels will be done next week, I think.
Cool.
So
This thing looks awesome. I can't wait to drive it.
yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah,
I'm
it's really
excited.
quite nice. The headliner turned out pretty good.
Yep. It looks killer in
I
there.
didn't realize that was a headliner.
Yeah. They're just cardboard.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yep, it got its first passenger side visor ever. And
Yeah, it wasn't even an option for it on this one.
No, it wasn't.
I love it. I got front windows down there
Oh, good.
to put in it. Brand new ones. We got all other glass. We just didn't do these yet.
Yeah,
So.
but it leaks all around the rubber.
Oh,
when
I'll
you-
bet it does. I'll
Yeah.
bet it's terrible.
Yeah, you can see the river running down the running down the dash.
Right there.
Yeah. and the
Yeah.
glass-
Cool. Pack
Yeah.
brake has, oh yeah, you got a switch on it?
Yeah, the switch quit working on the way down. It's stuck on, so if you can grab another switch and put on
I
it.
actually have some more switches, so.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that quit, but it is ready to go. It did work when we left, and it quit working about Nephi. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, it's turned out
Well,
really
thank
good.
you very much. This thing is killer looking.
Yeah, it's nice to drive. I really
deal.
enjoyed it coming down. So
Good deal.
yeah, so
Well, it's gonna be a minute before I drive it, I'm sure.
yeah, it'll be a
After
little hard.
tonight's activities,
Yeah.
we'll find out when we go to the doctor.
Okay, well, we're down here at this derby in Manti, so if you want to see that and see what Paul did to his arm, you're gonna have to go check out his channel or go over to Easy Does It as well. So, but that takes care of it for this round. Till next time, remember, don't be so open-minded that your brains fall out. Thanks for watching.